My name is Jessica, and today I will be discussing how to load and create brushes on Photoshop. As you can see, Photoshop has a lot of standard and preloaded brushes. However, when wanting to create a specific special effect or texture, Photoshop can often be lacking. So for this reason, many people create their own brushes in addition to the standard ones that come prepackaged with Photoshop. In fact, there are many free brush sets which are contained in an ABR file made by other artists that you can download from the internet and use for yourself. Many artists don't ask for compensation or even acknowledgement when using their brushes, but it is always good to check. And you can find these often on artist blogs and sites like conceptart.org or DeviantArt. So for instance, I'm just going to show you how to load a brush. In DeviantArt, I found by user Florian Hesse an ink splatter brush set that he has created and that he has given users to use for free. And so all I'm going to do is download this file, ABR. I've actually already downloaded it here. And I will go into Photoshop and add it into my database for my brushes. So it's very easy to do, very quick. So after downloading it, I am just going to go into this brush palette, I guess. And just if we can locate this gear in the corner here, we're going to click that. And there's an option to load brushes. So in my downloads, which comes up automatically because I typically keep my brushes all in the download folder, it's probably a good idea to move all of the brushes into a separate brush folder, but for right now, they're all right. I'm going to find the set that I'm looking for, and it is the ink splatter brush set. So I am going to load that, and now it's going to be at the bottom of all of my standard brushes. So down here, I now have a lot of splatter brushes. So I am happy to show you what some of those look like. I'm just going to get rid of my text there, and we will pick a couple splatters to show off. So there's some really nice looking ones in this set, and these are excellent brushes to use to add some more visual aesthetics and interest into just different works and things like that. I already did that one. And you can use different colors as well. We can make a pink splatter, do something new. And just to have a lot of fun with. So for instance, this image right here did use some splatter brushes to just kind of help create more dynamics and just some visual interest on the image as well. And so that's how you load your own brush. So you have the file downloaded, and then you can access the ABR file just by, loading it in the load brushes option, and it will end up at the bottom of the brushes that you already have open. Furthermore, as I mentioned earlier, you can create your own brushes. So it's actually quite easy to do and quite a bit of fun to play around with making your own brushes. So I'll show you how to do that quickly. So I've just created a very basic 5-inch square board to work on a surface. I'm going to create a new layer, and that's where I'm going to put my brush on. The transparency really helps. So it's better not to put it directly onto the background. So for this one, I'm going to use a brush that I already have, and I'm going to just let it, I like to do them in black. I'm going to use it in a way that it wouldn't work, I'm going to use it to create texture that will help create a really new brush and create effects that this brush alone wouldn't be able to make. So I really like how this brush has this linear look to it. So I've created a surface. I'm going to actually center it. And so this is what I'm going to make my brush out of. So To create a brush, all we do is we have our image that we want to turn into a brush. We go into Edit, and we click Define Brush Preset. And we can name this brush, I'm not really sure what to name it. We'll call it Rigid. Click OK. And so now when we go into our brush palette, it's going to be the very last brush. And there it is. So we can see it has the exact same contours. If I put it small, there it is. But when we draw with this brush, it's kind of boring right now. So there's actually ways to make it a really dynamic brush and a really useful tool as well, because just having it repeat the stamp again and again isn't going to be that interesting, at least in my opinion. So by going into this folder here in the top, next to where you pick your brushes, that's where you can make changes to the brush and how it's applied to the surface. So for instance, I really like this option here, Shape Dynamics, and we just start adding different levels. I like the texture because it can make it more a little more transparent and let the details in the middle of the brush really stand out. Scattering is another one that I really like because I feel that it allows the brush to kind of take on its own, it becomes a more softer brush, and I really like that for adding shading to things and such like that. And it's really become something of playing and watching the stroke at the bottom here and how it develops. Transfer is another one that I really like because it has that really nice faded opacity at the ends. With things like color dynamics, you can change the colors as they're laid down. It can change color. And really, you just kind of test and see what you like. And I do actually like where this brush is heading because I can get it very soft and light, and it's a very nice, gentle looking brush, and I think it'll be a lot of fun to play with texturing different items. So we can put it in with this one here, put on a color, and we can see how this brush really looks against the splatter brushes. So that's one example of how to make a brush, and that's making it out of kind of another textured brush, and it looks very different from the brush I used initially to create it. So the brush that I did use was this one here, and it's quite a different appearance. So in this tutorial, we have covered how to load ABR brush files into Photoshop and how to create and manipulate your own brushes. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial and try making brushes for yourself. All the best luck on your creative endeavors.